the incredible corruption of NATO and the Ukrainians. As the worldwide fallout over the Pentagon paper leaks continues, Seymour Hersh has struck back with a new bone-crushing, head-turning online reporting. Our sycophants and pro-NATO pirates continue to ostentatiously ignore the Spartan revelations of America's leading journalist, who, in addition to the Pulitzer Prize he's won, the George Polk Award for Investigative Journalism 5 times, and if you don't know who Polk was, what can I say? Look it up. What follows necessarily is an informal summary of what the 85-year-old Barbara Seymour writes in his shocking article, which is entitled Dealing with the Enemy, namely Putin and his oligarchs. According to CIA information, Ukrainian President Zelensky and his corrupt backyard buy at a discount through third parties huge quantities of diesel for his military from Russia, using, of course, American and European money, and then pocketing the difference, calculating to $400 million in 2022 alone. The corruption of the Ukrainian leadership is compared, he says, only to that of Afghanistan, where hundreds of billions of dollars are known to have been spent on non-existent armies and infrastructure. Hersh's sources add that several of Zelensky's ministers are fighting over who will set up the most shell companies based in the Czech Republic, Poland, the Persian Gulf, or Israel that export arms and ammunition around the world in exchange for great commissions, of course. The kickbacks, in other words. The extent of the found corruption of the Ukrainians is said to be so great that CIA Director Bill Burns traveled to Kiev just last January to tell Zelensky to get his act together and stop taking the lion's share of the ill-gotten gains. Their meeting is described as a scene from a 1950s gangster movie. Burns warned Zelensky that other Ukrainian officials and generals are furious that he is throwing them in the mix, and presented him with a list of 35 people on whom the CIA had collected evidence of corruption, which he had even promoted in the Biden administration. Zelensky indeed corrupted 10 of the most provocative officials, but did not touch the rest, while Biden and his staff made the Americans. According to the retired top diplomat who spoke to the veteran reporter, the Biden administration, especially the anti-Russian and anti-Chinese fanatics, Blinken, Sullivan, and Nuland, have been losing for months, mostly after the deliberate sabotage of the Russian-German Nord Stream Baltic pipelines, the subject of Hersh's previous great report. All contact with U.S. intelligence and live in their own world, quote-unquote, oblivious to the dire global implications of their choices. There have been ups and downs in the world of politics and energy. We see China and India selling refined fuels to the Western world. Where did they find them? Of course, they found them from Russia. Serious CIA people and career diplomats who know the real situation on the fronts, as well as the great military and economic capabilities and endurance of Russia and China, have been literally horrified by the competence of their political superiors. People have no strategy about how this war will end. Biden, his lieutenants, and their court of loyalists treat anyone who criticizes Zelensky as Putin's man and publicly insist that America will support Ukraine to the last bullet as long as it takes. Another official adds, no one knows where the White House is going. The miners have taken over the show. Let's pray for the light of the resurrection to save the world from chaos, which the corrupted merchants of the temple seek. And this is translated for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.